I'm Taylor Zarzour, and this is the OTP. With Amie Wells, I'm Taylor Zarzour. Head coach Mike McCoy will join us a little later in the show, as will Titans Radio's Rhett Bryan and Will Bowling. It's the Thanksgiving edition of Monday Night Titans. A few days before Thanksgiving, but still
counts.
It still counts, right?
Oh, it totally still counts. We are big Thanksgiving people in my house, so I'm very excited.
You know, we are too, and let's just go ahead and get this out of the way.
Hit it.
What is your feeling on turkey? Because it seems like it's becoming more of a controversial topic as years have gone on, and I don't know, maybe it's just in my feeds more than ever this year, people's feeling on it, and a lot of people saying they don't like it. What is your feeling on turkey?
I get it. Like, you have to have, like, a meat. Like, you need some sort of a main course here. So, like, turkey is what you should do, and we have turkey. I essentially use it as a condiment. Like, I'll sprinkle some turkey on my mashed potatoes. I'll sprinkle some turkey on my dressing, but, like, I'm not, like, getting me a hunk of turkey and just eating it like a barbarian. Like, I'm not doing that. It kind of mixes in with everything else. But, like, I'll make it. I think there's going to be 7 of us, 8 of us, something like that. And I got, like, 6 pounds of turkey. It'll be fine.
Well, I don't have any problem with that. It's not my favorite meat. I enjoy it, and I enjoy all the things that you put on it. In fact, you just said something, and I have to give you a hug.
Why?
Stand
Why are
up.
we hugging?
Stand
what
up.
did I do?
You just said something. I'm really proud of you.
Oh, did I say dressing?
You said dressing.
Well, yeah,
And
that's what it is.
It is. And in the North, it is stuffing, but you just said
Not
dressing.
Not from the North, friend.
And I'm really proud.
No.
I'm really proud of you.
It made all your holiday dreams come true.
Made my day. And I will tell you, the leftover Thanksgiving sandwich on Friday, and my daughter Katie, shout out to Katie, she makes a panini press.
Oh, yeah.
With the turkey, the dressing, cranberry, and a press.
And you mush it and you put the gravy on top. Yeah, that's pretty legit.
Gosh, I can't wait for it.
So I'm very excited to be cooking for my family. I usually will have everybody come to me because we've got the children of it all, and so they come to me and I cook and it's great. I was informed by my 3-year-old that she does not want to partake in the meal. She just wants to watch the parade, and we leave her alone.
Okay,
is what I was told.
That's
leave
fair.
me alone. You guys eat, and I will watch the parade. Cool, girl. You go. You know what? You're kind of tricky anyway when it comes to eating. So you go sit and watch the parade.
God love her.
I will be cooking for those in my family who choose to eat.
Very good.
There you go.
We're very excited about Thanksgiving. We have some Thanksgiving memories with Rhett Bryan coming up a little bit later on.
Little turkey dance.
In Titans Time Machine. Yeah, a very nice Titans moment coming up in Titans Time Machine. Amie, these games, I mean, you see the progress that the Titans are making, and they're making it against good teams. You know, you think about the last 3 teams they've played all now have winning records. So the LA Chargers, the Houston Texans, who beat the Buffalo Bills the other night, they're now 6-5 on the season.
Yep.
Seattle Seahawks look like a playoff team as well. I mean, the Titans are going up against some strong opposition, and they are right there. All 3 of these games, which makes it, I don't know how you feel, but it makes it a little more painful when you're that close.
Oh, I don't know about that because I'm enjoying watching the improvement week over week. I'm enjoying seeing measurable, pretty obvious improvement.
Oh, yeah.
And so that is something that I really like. And doing it against really good talent, I mean, holy smokes, we spent a week talking about the Seattle Seahawks. They're coming to town. Their defense is great. They're good, at every level of defense. They are great. They're stacked. They've got great depth. And you know what happened? Cam Moore went out there and said, all right, fine. I'm still going to have statistically one of the best games of the year. I'm still going to get my first rushing touchdown of the season. I'm going to use my arm. I'm going to use my legs. I'm going to use whatever it takes to move this team down the field. So, okay, it was great competition. But, with the measuring stick, you've got to feel good about that performance.
Oh, absolutely. And I thought it was Cam's best game as a pro. And I really loved the way that he used his legs in the game. not only to get a first down and obviously get some good rushing yards and have a rushing touchdown in the game, but the threat of him running. When he scrambles, the stress that puts on the defense, I mean, you saw that. So, yeah, I love that. I love that. I love Chimere Dike is an all-pro. I mean, this guy is leading the NFL in all-purpose yards. We have another punt return for touchdown that we call in the game, and then also he had another touchdown on offense. It was great to see some guys that have been on the practice squad most of the year, James Proche and Xavier Restrepo, both step up and play well in the game and get multiple catches. Kevin Winston is really coming on defense, making a ton of tackles. So make no mistake, I'm very excited about the future. I really am. I am of the belief that because of what we're watching right now, it is going to truly pay off for the Titans in the future. I just want to win those games, though.
I respect the no moral victories game. Like, I get it. Like, you want to win the game flat out. Win it.
Home is at the forefront of all we do. It's why we're so committed to caring for the places and spaces in which we work and live. Ashley, the official furniture provider of the Tennessee Titans. Genesis is the first and only official jeweler of the Titans, having earned that title since 2006. Titans players, coaches, and fans trust Genesis for the absolute best in selection, quality, customer service, and of course, value. For diamonds, engagement rings, designer fashion jewelry, and the largest selection of luxury pre-owned Rolexes in Tennessee, Genesis is the hands-down winner. Genesis Diamonds in Green Hills and Cool Springs, the official jeweler of the Tennessee Titans. Little Caesars is the official pizza partner of your Tennessee Titans. Download the Little Caesars app and get your favorites delivered today. Delivery fees apply. Now back to the OTP.
Yes.
I get that.
Yes.
I understand that feeling.
Okay.
I'm trying to be silver lining girl over here.
Well, but you're right. I mean, there is silver lining. You know, there isn't. I realize, and Coach McCoy will be in here and he'll say, we should have won the game. Mm-hmm. We need to win the game. That's what he's going to say. I know he's going to say that, and that's what the players are going to say that. But I do think if you're looking at this objectively, you would say the way the Titans are playing right now is going to it's going to pay off for them in 2025 against any of the 6 teams that they still have on their schedule, and it's certainly going to pay off in 2026 and beyond.
Oh, absolutely. I mean, the foundation of this team is real. And that, I think, is what's the most encouraging, not only for finishing out this season. Because, listen, things are coming together here. And, yes, we want the wins. We want to do all that. I understand. But in terms of, again, the measurable progress and week over week, there's a real chance the Titans could get a couple of these games coming down the stretch and the momentum then you take into the offseason.
That's right.
You know exactly where you need to keep building. You know exactly what this team needs to look like as you're heading into the offseason, where you've got a lot of cap room.
Yes.
And you've got probably a pretty decent opportunity with a lot of draft picks to be picking some really strong talent heading into the 26th season.
Well said. And I do think that, well, I know the entire front office and the coaching staff would tell you, the players would tell you, those wins are vital to that feeling as you go into the offseason. So, yeah, close calls. I do think that, you know, what you just described about all the things to be excited about for the future, I think it's also probably part of the reason why they're not closing the deal yet, is because they're learning how to do that. You know, when you have a really young team, you're trying to learn how to become a winner. And a lot of times when you rely on a bunch of first and second year players, these sort of things are going to happen where you're losing a lot of one-score games. Yeah. But once you become a second year, third year, and fourth year player, you win all those games.
As this team grows up together, you see that margin of error get smaller and smaller and smaller, and you'll see things start to change and get more efficient, more precise, less sloppy. You won't have 10 penalties in a game. Like things like that, you know, you start to try and close up a lot of those gaps and those things where people are just making mistakes because they're figuring it out and they're still learning too. I mean, Keith Bullock says it all the time. Nobody's trying to mess up. Like that's not what they're actively attempting to do. Everybody is doing their best to play clean football. It's about learning how to do that consistently.
The game starts with a 9+ minute drive.
Take your time, boys. Take your time. Get out there. hang out for a while.
Beautiful. The Seahawks didn't touch the football until there was just over 5 minutes to go in the first quarter. It really was. It was a lot of fun to see. It ended up with a Joey Slide chip shot field goal, so you get some points on the board. I know you wanted a touchdown, but you get some points on the board. But that was fun to watch. Then you had some real adversity in the middle of the game. You find yourself down 23-3, and you're thinking, okay, this one might get away from you. And then Chimere Dike, 90 yards to the house.
The guy just keeps going. And you know what I like about Chimere Dike? I had a conversation with him last week. If you haven't checked it out, TennesseeTitans.com. It's on the OTP.
Shameless plug.
Yeah, had a conversation with Chimere Dike, and he's just the nicest guy, and he is so enjoying this experience. What we talked about was the foundation that was on his Cleats, the Kai Lermer Foundation, who's a friend of his who passed away, and he is now supporting the cause. And it was just so interesting to have a conversation with him, and he's like, yeah, I mean, it's kind of crazy that, like, I'm a guy who's in the NFL right now. And I was like, you understand you're not a guy in the NFL. You are the guy that is leading the NFL in all-purpose yards. Like, that's like a big deal. And he was like, well, you know, we just try and get better every week. And I was like, but, like, you are better. Like, you're doing a very good job at this thing that you haven't been doing for very long. And he was just so, like, he had a lot better perspective than I did. I'm very like, look at these numbers. This is great. I just get very excited for people. And he was like, well, you know, I still have a lot to learn, and I'm doing my best, and this has been fun, but, like, you know, there's more to do. And I was like, but you're incredible.
Yep.
So I don't know if he was, like, freaked out by how excited I was about him, or if he, like, appreciated it. But such a good guy. And so that's what I personally really enjoy, is when a guy is just a great human to interact with and be around off the field, and then on the field is just phenomenal at their craft.
Yeah, and I think that his how humble he is probably a big reason why he's as good as he is. But it's been a heck of a start. That's
I
for
should
sure.
throw in a footnote, though, because after he had that 90-yard return for a touchdown, he did look directly at the crowd and say, I am that guy.
Okay.
Which I also appreciated.
Okay,
good. A little
good.
bit of swag. Let's go.
Swag.
You
Good.
just ran 90 yards. If I ran 90 yards just at any point in the course of a day, I would probably say the same thing. Like, I just ran 90 yards.
And
Look at me.
Ended up having another touchdown in the game after that on offense. So Chim's incredible rookie year continues. 7 rookies played in the game. You think of it, Femi Oladejo, hopefully get him back in the next few weeks. He was injured earlier this year. He's not playing right now. Elikai Omanor missed his first game, but I don't think it's anything long-term to worry about there either. So you could have 9 rookies playing for the Titans here in the next few weeks, and they had 7 that all truly had an impact in the game.
That's crazy.
It is.
It's bananas. And really, in year 2 and year 3 of all of these guys being together, we will all be so thankful for the work that they got done this year. Really, truly, we will. Because training camp 2026, we are going to be light years ahead of where we were training camp 2025. And, like, I need that to sink in with people. I need everyone to understand that, like, the ugly part is the gateway to the really good part. And we've got to get to the good part. And we will. And it's coming sooner rather than later.
Yeah.
Like, it's November. It's Thanksgiving. I mean, this time is flying by.
It is. And it is it's been wild that that we're already as far into the season as we are. But as you said, with the way this team is playing, I really believe some wins are about to happen.
Hey, football fans, satisfy your halftime hunger with Snickers, and you could win sweet prizes this NFL season. Visit Snickers.com/halftime to enter and view the official rules. Pick up Snickers at a Kroger near you.
When you bring Hellman's Creamy Buffalo Chicken Dip to the watch party, you can cheer too loud, or block the TV, or be a couch coach, and no one will eject you from the game. That's a Hail Mayo. Hellman's, the official mayo of the Tennessee Titans.
Titans fans, SeatGeek is the official primary ticketing partner of Tighten Up and here to help you experience all the action this season. SeatGeek makes it easy to find the perfect seats to the perfect game so you can be part of all the touchdown celebrations and momentum-shifting takeaways this season. Whether you're getting tickets to Titans games or to any live event in Nashville, SeatGeek is the place to do it. SeatGeek is the official primary ticketing partner of the Tennessee Titans.
Hey Titans fans, with a Kroger Boost membership, you'll score big with double fuel points, free delivery, and lots more. Go to Kroger.com/boost for details. Kroger, the official grocer of the Tennessee Titans. Tighten up.
Coach, I know it's such a fine line, winning and losing in the National Football League, and you have to be awfully pleased with the level of competition, especially against some of the best teams in the National Football League, but you also really want to see this team carry it through and win the game.
Yeah, that's the big. It's all about winning, and I think every player would tell you the exact same thing. But you can't question their effort, their want to, what they're doing, how they work, and I think there's a lot of positives in the game the other day. You see the way the team played. You know, once again, Chim has an explosive return for a touchdown. Some of the situational things we did as a football team. There's a lot of positives.
Yeah, and the first drive of the game lasted over 9 minutes. It only resulted in 3 points. It didn't result in 7, but still, I mean, how effective the offense was to put a drive like that together for over 9 minutes. You've said it, and we'll get your opinions on this about Cam Ward and the way that he played in this game, the way he used his legs throughout the game. But if there's anything that is holding us back from crossing that line, is it inexperience? Is it penalties? What do you think it is?
Well, I think number one, to kind of feed off what you said earlier, the offense had a 15-play, a 9, 11, and a 15-play drive. So 4 drives over 9. That's as efficient as we've been to date. And I think, you look at some of the things to kind of answer your question is there's some penalties in there. Second series, we have a number of penalties. Then you can start driving the ball down there, and we end up in a 4th and 20, late in the game and things like that. So that's where you kind of hurt yourself. And then, defensively, they're 28% on third down. So there's some things that are really good, but there's a couple explosives in there. So there's a number of things that prevent you from winning week in and week out. And you never know when that's going to be. Is it the first quarter play that doesn't happen? Is it somewhere second, third, fourth quarter? You don't know. And that's where you always talk to the players about, hey, make the plays that present themselves during the game. You don't know when they're going to be, but just make the plays that they don't chase plays, but go out there and make the plays. So hopefully that puts you over the hump at some point in time.
Do you believe that your team believes they can compete with anyone, given what they've done against their last 3 opponents?
No doubt, and that's what they've done. They go out there and they've competed their tails off, and that's what you can't compliment them enough for the way they work and the way they go out there and fight. And you see the leadership. Still, you see every time Cam's come off the field, Jeff's the first guy out there high-fiving him, complimenting him, certain things like that. So you just love the way these guys work. We just got to find a way to win one of these.
How about Cam Ward's performance, Coach? Some are saying that it's the best game he's had as a pro. I don't know if you want to quantify it compared to the other games, but what did you think?
Well, he had he's playing the game. He's starting to get better in doing things differently from week to week. You talk about the way he's been running the football, taking off and run from the first pass on, that he saw that crease to take off and just get there and make a positive play. And it's the growth that you're seeing week in and week out with Cam that's it's exciting for our fans to kind of watch the game like that, the plays he made, moving around and getting out on the edge, making a play, making a big throw, being 5 of 7 on 4th down conversion for the offense of, when the game's on the line, you need that big play of the offense making those plays. So it all starts with the quarterback, and it's the other 10 guys doing their job to help him, but he had a good game.
And when he didn't take off and run, he still scrambled quite a bit. And you said this to me earlier in the season. You said defenses, especially defensive backs, are going to have to play him differently if he starts showing you his legs, and they did. Yeah,
when you start to see him taking off like he did yesterday and carrying it now those second-level defenders, they're more conscious of it. They're going to be, when they get dropped back in a certain down and distance, they're going to see that he's taken off and run. But now the next part Cam needs to learn from is when to slide and when to get down. There's a couple of those plays in there, whether he's throwing it away or whatever, just get the ball out of your hand or get down earlier so you don't take the hits.
How about the effort to get into the end zone for his first rushing touchdown? I mean, that unbelievable acrobatic effort to extend the ball over the goal line like that.
Yeah, that was a great play on his part. Possibility he could have handed that ball off, and he'd made a decision, pulled it, and kept it, and what a great play.
And then another rookie continues to be one of the biggest stories in the National Football League. Chimere Dike leads the league in all-purpose yards. He had a 90-yard punt return for a touchdown. Now, he caught it at the 12, but I guess all his momentum took him back to the 10, so they gave him 90 yards, which I like.
That's nice, yeah.
Yeah, gave him 2 extra yards there, but he had 1 in special teams, and he also had a touchdown on offense.
Not shocking at all. The way he's played all year long in the return game, and you watch how the return team blocked for him. The other 10 guys in the field, and just being smart, and when you get big returns like that, a lot of times you look out there and that flag's on the ground because someone did a little too much, but just give all 11 guys credit. And I think everybody knows now in our kicking game that if you just do your job a little better, week in and week out, he's going to make that big play from time to time. And then, give Van all the credit in the world for picking on the touchdown down there, going in there to score at the end. Did a great job with the release, going down and picking the guy, and it was a layup. We need more of those. Those are the easy ones.
I want to ask you one more thing about special teams, because I know that you're a huge John Bones Fossil fan. Who isn't? If you're around this team, he's just so filled with all this energy and confidence. What kind of coach is he, Coach? Why does he make such a difference?
Well, I think Bones do both. It's just the relationships with the players. And the players understand that these guys are trying to do everything they possibly can to put the players in a position to be successful, and they do it the right way. They're very positive every day. They're energetic. They bring the juice every single day, and they're great football coaches, but even better people. They care about you, and the players. That's why the players play so hard for them.
You had a couple of guys that were elevated from the practice squad in recent weeks. Mason Kinsey's been out there now for a couple of weeks. James Proche has been elevated to the active roster and made a number of big-time catches in the game. And Xavier Restrepo had his first couple of catches in the National Football League. What did you think about all those guys?
Well, this is what the NFL is all about. When you get an opportunity to make the most of it. And all those guys you mentioned and so many others that have worked so hard this year, and we're playing a bunch of young guys, and we've been developing players, and the growth of the football team over the years, and you just want those guys. As a coach, you look at it and you say, hey, you want everybody to play, but that doesn't always happen. And then it's like, okay, when you get your opportunity, make the most of it. And it just shows how hard those guys have worked and the type of teammates that they are. It says a lot about them.
A couple other things to mention from this past game, Coach, before we look at the Jacksonville Jaguars. Defensively, Kevin Winston and Marcus Harris, 2 rookies, have been, I guess, pressed into action, if you will, in part due to injuries, but also due to their great performance. How did you think they did?
They did a nice job. They're still learning. You're going to say that to all the players in the team. There's a player or two you look back at and say, got it.
Yeah.
I could have helped a teammate do certain things, eliminate a certain type of play that might have happened. But you see Marcus early on, got the hands on the ball early on, and the quick little out route there in the slot that very easily could have gone the other way. And it's just you see them playing faster week in and week out, and that's just because it's experience. And their coaches have done a great job getting them prepared.
You weren't able to get the Titans were not able to get a lot of pressure early in the game, but that changed in the second half. Why is that?
Well, I think it changed. What are they trying to do offensively? Clint in his system, they want to get the ball out of their hand quickly, and they have the good play. They got a great running game, and so it's just as the game goes on, you get a feel for the game, how you're rushing, what they're doing. Are there more pressures here and there? How do you attack them? And it just they kind of sometimes the pressures, it's like a lot of other things in the game, they kind of come in bunches. You get on a roll, you get a couple pressures, and next thing you know, it's 2 or 3 series in a row you get there. And there's other times where, early in the game, the guy's getting the ball out of the hand to get in rhythm, and so it takes a little longer sometimes to get after the quarterback.
As you look at the rest of the season, Coach, what do you think are the biggest things that must happen in order for this team to go from a close loss to a victory?
Well, number one, you got to eliminate the penalties. The past couple of weeks, we had way too many penalties to be successful, especially against the teams we're playing. That's where it all starts. 'Cause it's hard enough in this business, but you don't want to give them any free yards. And then situationally, defense continued to play in the red area. Like the other day, the 2 big stops. They had a couple big stops you have in the red area. Offensively scoring when you get in the red area. And just overall being more efficient for 60 minutes in all phases. And, offensively, we got to run the ball better. Last 2 weeks, we haven't run the ball anywhere close to our standard. And there's for a number of different reasons. But offensively, you got to be able to run the football in this league. So that's a big one.
And I know that will be a tall task against the Jacksonville Jaguars, who you play next, and you get to play them twice in these last 6 games. You were there last year with the Jacksonville Jaguars. We talked to you about the Chargers and how meaningful it was to be a head coach for the Chargers and how grateful you were for your time there. Tell us about your time in Jacksonville.
Well, I had a great 3 years in there. Can't thank Doug Peterson for bringing me on board back there in 2022. We made the great run there at the end of the year, got in the playoffs, and beat the Chargers. Unfortunately, we lost the next round, but to Kansas City. But I had a great time coaching Trevor Lawrence, such a talented player. A lot of great players there. They're very talented on defense, and just from Shad and everybody down from top down, just great people. And I was grateful to have the opportunity to work for them for 3 years, and I look forward to seeing a lot of them on Sunday.
I know you're going to watch some tape this week on the Jaguars. Defensively, it seems to be a team defense. It's not necessarily the 1 or 2 guys that get a lot of attention, kind of like the Seattle Seahawks are.
Yeah, they're very talented, and obviously, having been there for 3 years, know a lot about them, whether it's players that were there before I was there or players that we drafted there, but very talented, good depth, and well coached.
Yeah, and then offensively, you just mentioned Trevor Lawrence, one of the better people in the National Football League, let alone so incredibly talented. And he's his college teammate and his pro teammate as well in Travis Etienne. They both went to Clemson and had a lot of success there, winning national championship, and obviously it's continued in the pros.
Yeah, they're 2 very talented players, great guys, work extremely hard, love the game, and have been very successful early on in their career. They're only going to get better.
Okay, as we finish up in these last couple of minutes, I want to turn the page to something else here. And since we're in the season of gratitude right now and giving thanks, and it's Thanksgiving, I'd like to go back to the very beginning with you and what you're most thankful for with football. How did your love affair with football begin, Coach?
Well, I always played as a young kid. I got back in the Pop Warner days. I was 8 years old when I first got in, and it was the first year they allowed 8-year-olds to play in Novato, California, where I grew up. And so I've always loved the game of playing football. And, I played 3 sports through high school and everything to a certain point in time until after my sophomore year. And then I stopped playing baseball and just played basketball and football. And then I obviously went on to play college football at Long Beach State and then the University of Utah. And then I chased a dream for a number of years, trying to play in the NFL or played up in the CFL, played in the World League. So I kind of went all over the place. So I was kind of the journeyman that never really stuck anywhere. And I was very fortunate to George Seifert to give me a call in 2000 in Carolina, and I thought it was actually a prank of someone pranking me because Bill Musgrave was calling me, and he went to school at Oregon with Matt LeBounty, a guy I went to high school with. And then I've been very fortunate to coach in the NFL since 2000 through some great organizations, and I'm just so grateful for the relationships you build, over time. And it's not just the Sundays, but it's the during the year, during the season. It's getting to know players. Jake Delhomme and I, we spent a number of years together in Carolina. I still vacation with him in the summers to this day. So it's just, I'm grateful for the opportunity to just work with great organizations in the NFL, to be one of 32. There's only 32 teams here, and so it's an amazing opportunity. I'm just so grateful just for the relationships I've built with people and the opportunity to still be in the game of football.
And you have a lot of thanks. I can see it in your face, and that's a wonderful thing, all the things that football has given you. And, on Thanksgiving Day, it's just one of the best things in the world is family, food, and football.
Well, it's kind of amazing when you sit there on Thanksgiving Day and you watch the 3 games that are played. And it hits me every year. You think about everything I have to this point in time is because of football. When you think of career-wise, and that's all I've ever done. And it's like my wife, my kids, and I were so fortunate to be where we are today because of the game of football. And it's like, this is what I do for a living. This is unbelievable. It's like I'm the luckiest person in the world, and I love it. I love it. You know, even in these tough times that we're going through right now, you're just so thankful for the opportunity you have to be in the NFL and coach these great players, work with great people like yourself and everybody else in this organization. And it's unbelievable. It's like you kind of just look at it and say, wow, you know, this is pretty damn nice.
That's awesome. And it's really cool to hear you say that for somebody that's spent a quarter of a century in the National Football League. And I do think that sort of attitude is going to pay off big time for the Titans in the future because of your love and because of your commitment to the Titans this year. Thank you, Coach. I'm thankful for you.
Thank you very much. Appreciate everything you guys do.
I'm Taylor Zarzour. This has been the OTP.